Good evening, guys. It's time for another episode of Joe Knows Stuff TV. In tonight's episode, I'm going to be going to the lake for a beautiful sunset. I hope it's going to be beautiful. And we're going to be doing some HDR photography, high dynamic range, and we're going to stitch those into a pano. Go to intro! What's up, boys and girls? I've got some HDR action going on here at the lake with a beautiful sunset. I've missed the most of the climax, but I've got, well, I didn't miss it. I just said missed videotaping it. But I'm going to show you how I do it right now. I'm going to show you the settings in a minute, but I want to go ahead and get it while the sky's good. So let's do it. I got it set on a 3-second self timer. I got it set to set 3 pictures at 2 f-stops apart. I've got it set on manual, so that there's no color. Now, as soon as it gets done, I take and turn it, and I want to make sure I overlap about 30%. Say those are my pictures. You want to make sure you overlap about 30%. You don't want to take it just right up next to the edge. As soon as it gets done, you want to turn it and capture it again. And the reason, the sky is changing. The sky is changing. You'll get a darker set of prints on the right-hand side if you don't do it in a hurry. One more. This will be an interesting panorama that you guys got to see how I made it. So, Adobe Joe, out. Welcome back, boys and girls. We're here inside my computer here, Cyberbotch. We're in Lightroom. We've got 9 photographs pulled up that we took pictures of at the lake today. There's 3 photographs in each series. One of the photographs is 2 f-stops underexposed. One is properly exposed according to the camera, and one is overexposed. The reason we do HDR is to pull out the highlights from the underexposed photograph, pull out the midtones from the properly exposed photograph, and pull out the shadows from the overexposed photograph. So let's jump right in. Let's hit the shift key to select the first 3. Go to photo merge, HDR. Only takes a second. Do not deghost. Do not create a stack. And hit merge. It's that simple. There's no real way to say it. It's just that easy to do a merge in HDR if you properly expose the picture. Now, I'll show you the 3 once we get done. Let's go to the second 3. The second 3 are these 3. Just hit the shift key when they're in consecutive order. If they're not, hit the alt key. Right click, photo merge, HDR. And merge. Once again, don't deghost it at all. Deghosting has to do with the moving subject in your photograph, like if a dog was walking around or something. It was moving around. No. Alright, let's select our last 3 by hitting shift, right click, photo merge, HDR, and no deghosting, no stack, merge. Now, once those 3 get pulled up, we're going to merge them into a panorama. Okay, let's full screen this last one we just did. Beautiful, beautiful, but we're not done color editing. Hit the F key to get it out of full screen. Let's go to the second one. Let's full screen it. Beautiful, looks like a painting. And the last one, full screen it just by hitting the F key. Just absolutely stunning. Like I say, it looks like a painting. Now you're ready to take and put them in pano. Click here, hit the control key, and click all 3, and all 3 of them merged. All 3 of the HDR ones go back to photo merge, but this time you're going to panorama, and this will take a while, so we'll go to pause. That didn't take no time. I was wrong. You've got auto crop, which you can do to get that boundary out, but I like border wrap a little better. It's kind of similar. Now you've got 3 different settings here. Spherical, you need to check them out on all your panos. Cylindrical usually comes out kind of squarish on a
perspective like this. I kind of like perspective. It's just got a more natural look, and I don't create a stack unless I want to, you know, but in this case I don't need to. So let's just go to merge, and it's as simple as that, to put 3 HDR photographs together to make a pano. And that was 9 photographs it took to cover the screen, to cover that. Well, actually 3, and then stacks of 3 on each one. Alright, this takes a while, but it's almost done. I think that's it right there. No, that's not it. There it is right there. Let's go to full screen by hitting the F key, and it looks great. It looks great. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to color edit this. So, what I recommend doing is going to the basic module, checking your whites, hit the Alt key, and slide it until all the whites disappear. If you leave that much white in there, look how that sky is blown away. Keep in mind, Lightroom is non-destructive. I can go all the way back. See, I like it without any whites. I like it pure color. Do the same thing with blacks, but this time I recommend a little bit of blacks. Maybe not this much. You can see it just darkens out way too much. But just a little bit of black, just so you've got some black in the photograph. Now, something that's been bugging me is this crop. So I'm going to grab the crop tool. I'm going to do it manually because this is a lake. You've got these angles over here that you pick your angle and aspects. But I'm good at eye. And once you touch it, it goes to a multi-grid, multi-line grid. But this is a lake and not an ocean. That's a little much, so about like that. Alright, that looks good. Now, I always like to give gradient filters to my landscapes to close them off. And I do that by applying it like that and then going under just about a stop. An f-stop is, let's see, right there is one f-stop. You don't want to go past 2 or 3, it looks unnatural. But 1 f-stop is a good gradient filter for most photographs. Keep in mind, all this is subjective. Now, another way you can do this is just by going here and clicking the up or down keys. 101 will be fine. Now, what you can do here, because you want the same effect on the bottom, is duplicate, bring it down, grab the round tool. If you grab the round tool away from it, it makes it turn a lot slower and a lot more accurate. If you grab it right here, it's jerky. If you pull it out, it slows it down just a little bit. Make sure it's straight. Bring your pen down. I don't want this one quite so much because it's going into the water. I want some of the, maybe just a little more, yeah, like that. Alright, let's take this one up just a little. All this is subjective. Let's look at this pen, just a touch darker. See, I like it like that. It looks like it's going into infinity. Alright, hit the gradient filter to take it off. I want to make it a little warmer. Just a little bit warmer in those highlights. I'm going to take the highlights all the way down. I want to bring the shadows up just a touch more, just to give it a little more definition. I want to take the clarity down about 10. I don't like skies and water to be. I know I want to do some toning of the colors. Let's dehaze it. See what it looks like dehazed just a little bit. It looks real clean and crisp like it's a cold day. I'm going to go about 14 on the dehaze. I'm going to turn up the vibrance. I like my vibrance to be about 24 or 25 on most photographs like this, and saturation about 7 to 12. You don't want to overdo it on saturation because it turns into a posterized poster for advertising for the Grateful Dead or something. But I do like a painting like this to be colored quite intensively. Now let's go to HSL and turn up the oranges. Yeah, I want some oranges. I want some pretty yellows. Let's see what it looks like with a little punch of green. Yeah, that brings it out. I don't want to overdo the blue, but I want a little more blue. I like to give it that saturated look. Look at those colors in the water. It's just looks like a painting. I mean, it really does, and that's what an HDR photograph does. Alright, I think that's it. So, that'll conclude this lesson on HDR to Pano using Lightroom. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, click that little bell icon so you don't miss out on videos, because now that I'm out of work because of the virus, it's April 7th? Yeah, April 7th, 2020, and I'm locked down. I'll be not working until July or August. I own a tattoo shop. So I'm going to be making videos, so pay attention and subscribe. Till next time, Adobe Joe is out.